Hi, I'm Rachel Munro, and I'd like to invite you to journey with me. Welcome. On this journey, we will explore topics such as identity, personal development, spirituality, and, well, whatever else comes up along the way. Let the journey begin. Hey everyone, it is wonderful to have you listening wherever you are joining from. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And I am excited because we're at episode 2 of this podcast. So today is Do You Feel It? And Trusting the Journey. Now, this is something that has come up very often recently for me, both for myself and for people that I'm talking to in my life, is that everyone seems to be feeling a bit lost. They don't know where they're heading. They don't know what they want to do with their lives. They just know that whatever is going on for them right now isn't sitting right. Now, I don't know why this is. I don't know what's happening universally or if it's just the people that are around me, but this has come from people all over the world. So I have friends in lots of countries. I've done lots of traveling as I've grown, and this is coming from people in America. This is coming from people in the UK. This is coming from people in Australia, in New Zealand. So it's not just physically close to me, but it's people everywhere right now, it seems to be. So let me know in the comments or DM me and let me know if this is happening for you as well. If you're feeling a bit lost, if you're feeling a bit with no direction, no life purpose, or you just haven't quite settled down, you know what you're doing, you know what direction you're heading in life. If that's you, let me know, because I want you to know that it's not just you right now. And I want to share with you a story of my journey and kind of what's led me to the point of doing my podcast and why this has happened. And so I know I shared with you in episode 1 about that I had built my business. I was working in that for 2 or 3 years before I went on maternity leave and had my daughter. Now, coming off of maternity leave, I have felt like I've got my business there, which is fantastic, and I've got my existing clients, but I don't really want to advertise for new clients because I don't know what I want my business to look like. Now, I have since developed programs that work for me and what I think is suiting this period of my life right now, which is great. But in that period of time, I felt so lost and so directionless, and that made me feel really hopeless and a little bit useless, to be honest. My husband works full time from home, thankfully, so he does get to see my daughter. Like, we're very blessed in the situation that we're in, which is great. But for myself, it made me feel really useless. Like, motherhood is so bloody hard. I'm going to give you a pre-warning now. I might swear in these episodes. I might not, but I'm just warning you already. I felt so useless. I felt like I wasn't financially contributing, and being a very strong, independent person, I hated that. I absolutely hated it. And I know that I've got trauma around money, and it's definitely been a part of my journey, and it will continue to be. I'm now at a point where I'm starting to see, now I'm not always seeing it like this, but I'm starting to see finances as an energetic exchange, which that in itself is a different journey that we can talk about on another day. But this is how I felt, right? So I was really grappling with the fact of, if I come back into my business, it's only going to be part-time. Even when I didn't have a daughter, I was full-time and I wasn't earning as much as I wanted to from my business. I love my business and I love my clients, but I wasn't earning what I thought was my fair share, I suppose. I had replaced my full-time income when I was working for a company, or when I was working for someone else, which is great. But of course, I wanted to increase that, while also then struggling with the fact of, but I don't want to charge my clients more because my demographic is new business owners. Now, 8 times out of 10, new business owners are watching their pennies because they don't have large amounts to invest, but they still want the help. So I was trying to grapple with the fact of, I don't want to raise my prices, but I'm not necessarily earning as much as I wanted to. Now, that was when I was full time. So now, fast forward 10 months, I've been very lucky to have 10 months maternity leave when working for myself. I had saved my pennies and we distributed my maternity pay that worked for us in our budget, and came back in, I think, October last year, just one day a fortnight, because my husband has one day a fortnight off as an RDO. And then from February this year, when my daughter went to daycare, I was able to come back. I'm now doing 2 to 3 days a week, depending on the week. So coming off maternity leave, already having struggled with, I didn't feel like I was financially contributing enough, to then now I've got no new clients coming on board. I don't know what my packages are. I don't know what direction I want to take my business in. Do I want to stay with new businesses, or do I want to deviate off into something else? Do I want to broaden into new businesses and then existing businesses, and going into existing businesses and seeing how they can refine their processes and increase their hiring skills so that they have more staff retention and less loss and all of those sorts of things? Did I want to go down that road, or did I want to completely branch off into something else like life coaching instead of business coaching? Or I wasn't sure. And so I was putting all of this pressure on myself to know immediately exactly what I wanted to do, exactly what my clients wanted me to do, or my potential clients wanted me to do. But guess what? I'm not a mind reader. I can't tell the future. And I really just had to sit in my discomfort and embrace my discomfort. And through that, a part of me said very quietly, why don't you just get a job? And then all of the other voices inside of me went, no, that means she's a failure. That means that her business hasn't worked properly. That will mean blah, 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 blah. All of the excuses inside of me that my ego popped out because of the conditioning that I'd had from the coaching world, from society, from the statistics that get thrown around of whatever it is, I don't even know, 80% of businesses go out of business in the first 5 years, or I think it's higher than that actually. But the sheer exhale of relief that I felt when I would think about if I just had a job was immense. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because I want you to know, if you were in business and you were at a transitional stage in your life, or you are struggling financially right now, or you don't want to raise your prices because you feel it's out of alignment with your client base, or even just with yourself, know that it's okay to go and get a part-time job or a full-time job if that's what you need. Even if it's for the rest of your life, have a job. If it helps you feel more secure, great. You could get a job for a year. You could get a job for a month. Know within yourself what is right for you. I still am running my business. I am just about to sign a contract to go and back and work part-time with council. And I'm so excited because I love working with council. I've worked with this team before. They've actually asked for me to come back and work for them, which is such a wonderful compliment and a really nice feeling that obviously I've done such a great job at there in the past that they'd happily take me back. So I'm going to do that part-time as well as running my business. Now, that doesn't make me a failure. That makes me really smart. I'm doing something that I love in my job. I'm doing something that I love in my business. And those things combined give me financial stability for myself and for my family. Now, that to me has given me the space and the flexibility financially to just breathe for a minute. It is okay. Please give yourself permission to do what you need to do to feel the space to breathe. Whether you're a business owner, whether you already work in a job, whatever it is, breathe. One caveat that I will add to this is get a job in something that you enjoy. Don't get a job if you are not a people person, if you are like process driven and you love computers, or if you, I don't know, something like that, don't go and be a barista or a bartender that needs to talk to people all day, because that's just going to drain your energy and burn you out and you're not going to be happy. It's not going to give you the space to breathe because you're going to be dreading going to work. You're going to be dreading the paycheck that's coming at the end of the week because you won't have enjoyed getting it, like getting there, if that makes sense. So if you need a job, get a job, but make sure it's something that you kind of enjoy. I know I love working in government. I love working for council. I've worked at two different councils now. And I nearly said three because I'm in a new council area, but no, two councils. And I love it. It's great. Their processes are so fantastic for my like OCD, for my checkbox needing. Like it's brilliant. I love council. And so that for me works perfectly. So that is my small caveat, is if you are considering getting a job, don't feel like a failure. You're not failing. There's nothing saying that if you get a job, you have to stop working in your business. That's not a thing. You can do what you like. It's your life at the end of the day. So I wanted to share that story with you because I still don't really know what direction I'm taking my business. I'm still doing new businesses and I still love helping new businesses. And I don't think I'll ever get rid of that. I have an online course there that is just evergreen. You can join it at any point in time. It's over a year's worth of content and work from myself, being put in behind the scenes of, I ran it as a group coaching course before I set it up as a course, and having that feedback from all my clients before then creating it as a course before I went on maternity leave. So that will always be there. And then the other option I've got now is, originally I had set it up as a year's worth of one-on-ones with me, like unlimited in terms of the days that I work. But now I've just kind of had the realization of I love voice noting people. I love it. I love getting voice notes. I love sending voice notes. And Zoom calling with me, even being unlimited on the days that I work, was really restrictive to both me and the client. So I have now, only this week, just changed it to actually, it's just going to be unlimited voice notes. And I will reply any day of the week because I understand what it's like to need an answer. You're doing something in your business. You might be working on whatever it is that you're working on, and you have this question pop up, and you're like, oh, I can't wait till next Monday to ask this question. Oh, I'll have to, or I'll email it and she'll get back to me like within the week. That's not fair on you guys. So I've decided that actually I'll just set it up as unlimited voice noting and I'll respond to that 2 times a day. And I can do that in between looking after Ada or working on the business, or even if I'm away for a week, I can still work on that and that's fine. And that feeling of being able to help you guys excites me so much. So know that businesses develop, life develops, careers develop. Every person that is feeling lost and directionless and not sure what you're doing right now, know that it will come. Sit in your discomfort. Know that it's okay to feel like this. It's not wrong. You're not failing. It's just learning to trust your journey. This discomfort is a part of your journey. Think about a roller coaster. We go up, 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 up. And then when we're at the top of the roller coaster, we're so high, we're so happy, we're so excited. And then we fall down and we go down into the valley, I guess, for lack of a better term. I don't know what you call that on a roller coaster. I'm not an engineer. Uh, you go down into the valley, right? This is just a valley. And then we have to climb back up. And on the roller coaster it goes duk, 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 duk. You're just building, you're just climbing again. And sitting in that discomfort while you climb is okay. Know that. Please understand that. The other thing I want to talk about is, I know I've talked a lot about my business and sharing my story of my times of discomfort and my times of directionlessness. And here is something that not a lot of people talk about in business, but I think it's really relevant. If you don't have a business, that's okay. I hope that other parts of this podcast today resonate with you. Not every episode will talk about business, but it's just where it's gone today. Business ownership. It's not easy. One thing that you guys will get to know about me along this journey together is I don't sugarcoat things. I will tell you how I think it is, how it is for me, how I see it from a third party perspective on the outside as well. Business ownership is not easy. Lots of people get it, whether it's a traditional brick and mortar business, whether it's an online business, whether it's a network marketing business, whether it's a sole trader business, whether it's a company with staff, whatever business you are thinking about going into, please know this. Lots of people get into business for more time freedom. They want to be able to go to their kids' school activities, or they want to be able to travel the world and work at the same time. They get into it for money, like better finances. Well, if I get a business, I see this person over here is earning $200,000 a year. My job's only paying me $75,000. So that would be fantastic. Business is hard. It's not easy. There are struggles of what is suited to you and your skills, what comes naturally to you in terms of your skill set. business, especially sole trader business, if you're not going out there and hiring staff that are already great at what they do, you are having to look after your own marketing, your own mindset, and knowing that your mindset is ready for business. You have to look after your customer base. Are you advertising to the right people? Do they know if your business is set up for retirees? Are you advertising to retirees, or are you advertising on social media where probably you're looking at people working like myself? I'm not saying there's not retirees on social media, but that's just an example. Are you looking, you've got to look after all of your finances and your taxes. And sure, you've got an accountant for that, but you have to do that day in, day out until it gets to tax time. You have to look after your administration, your management of your business. Do you have a way for your clients to contact you? Do you have a way for people to book in with you? Do you know how your clients are going to pay you? Do you know all of these? There is honestly hundreds. I could create a book with the amount of things that need to happen. Well, I've created a course, haven't I? A year-long course with the amount of things that happen to keep a business up and running. Now, that is just running the business. That doesn't take into account your personal circumstances. Do you have things going on with your family? Are you having troubles with your kids at the moment? Is someone unwell that you need to look after or you need to go and visit? Or is there something else going on in your life that needs to take priority over a business, but you need the business to keep the finances coming in so you can make that a priority? It's not an easy journey. And I'm not saying this to scare you away from business, because I'm doing it and I love it. But I want to be real with you in that there is a lot to think about when considering starting a business. I know in the coaching industry specifically, there is this dream that is portrayed, and I can only assume that the influencer journey is portrayed very similarly from what I've seen so far. I've got a few friends that are influencers and it's the same. I also know from past experience as well, network marketing is portrayed very similarly, but most recently I've seen it in the coaching industry that running your own business is portrayed as this magical thing, and you're going to have all the time in the world and you'll have so much money and it's so abundant. And lots of people who start coaching should just do it for themselves. And I know that that's how it starts. And then it's sold as, oh, but you should do it and help others. And that's really not suited for everyone. And it really sets a lot of people up for failure. And that is hard. That's very hard to come to terms with, of being sold a dream that's not your dream originally. Your dream is, let's go on a journey. You are a little bit insecure. You've had a few traumas throughout your life. You want to follow the path of positivity and you want to start working on yourself. So you go and you find somewhere that does coaching and you want to learn a little bit about these things so you can help yourself. Fantastic. Along that journey, that place builds your trust and they gain your trust. And then they say, oh, you're so far into this journey now. How about you start taking these things that you've learned, and instead of just being them for yourself, and you can continue on your life of whatever it is that you're doing and you're enjoying. No, you don't want that. Let's go and help some other people with it. And so they think, oh, that's amazing. I want to help other people. Yeah, absolutely. Because we're human, right? We want to help other people. So, yeah, I want to do that. And then you're sold on that journey of it's going to give you this freedom, and it's given me this and it's given me that. And now I can do this with my family. And now I can move here and I can travel over here. And oh, wow, that flexibility seems amazing. I'll quit my job and I'll start my own business. But the reality is, I've got self-doubt and I've got limiting beliefs and I've got this, that, and the other that's actually going to personally hold me back. And then I'm going to feel like a failure, and I'm going to feel like I haven't done it properly. And why can they do it, but I can't do it? And I'm probably going to invest tens of thousands of dollars into these courses when really, if I think back to when I started this journey, all I wanted to do was help myself because I was actually happy in my life then. I had some issues and I wanted to learn a bit more, but I really liked my job that I was in at that time, and I really enjoyed the friends that I had at that time, and I really enjoyed everything else that was happening. It's just I wanted to do some personal development. If that journey sounds like you, know that it's okay to not go into business because it's not for everyone. It's not, if we all ended up being coaches, if we all ended up doing the same job, whatever industry we were in, this world would not function. Not everyone is meant to be a business owner. If everyone was a business owner, no one would have staff. Not everyone, I heard, sorry, I'm going on a rant now, but thank you for listening. I heard, I can't remember the exact quote, but I heard something on a podcast one day about there are 70 different organizations in the US. I'm based in Australia, but this was the statistic I heard. 70 odd organizations in the US, charity organizations, to help with the preservation of a certain type of owl. Can you imagine if those 70 organizations teamed up into one big organization, or even 5 organizations, 70 different companies into 5 different companies? Can you imagine how much momentum and movement and progress would be made towards helping that actual owl, rather than having 70 different little teams of people trying to help this owl? Sometimes we need to see it from a different perspective. And it's no different in business. Now, you could say, well, why are you in business, Rachel? Absolutely. I 100% agree. At any chance I get, I look for collaborations because I love teaming up to build that momentum, to make progress forward, to help other people. That's why, as a part of my course, I've got a whole module of nearly 20 guest speakers that joined my group coaching for just over a year to talk about things other than business, because business isn't just about business, it's about life as well. At the same token, I go and be guest speakers for other friends of mine, and I'm looking at getting, check out Olivia Martin's podcast if you are interested. If you like what I'm talking about, you'll love what she's talking about. Her and I are on a very similar path right now in life, like weirdly, scarily enough. And her and I team up. She is doing my marketing for me and my business at the moment. And because she fucking rocks at marketing, and it's something that I don't love. So we've teamed up in that aspect. I am going to get her onto my podcast to be interviewed. So look for people in your life that you can collaborate with on things that you enjoy. Just last night, I got a message on Instagram from a friend of mine from the coaching world about spirituality. And her and I spoke on Instagram for maybe an hour and a half, just about different spirituality things that we're both working on or have looked at through our lives. And that excited me so much because now her and I have a new facet to talk about. And perhaps collaborate in a different way. And it's, if I didn't sit in that discomfort like I was speaking about earlier, maybe I wouldn't have ended up here. Know that not everyone is made for business. Not everyone has to be in business. You might be able to go and work for a company or a business that does something that you love. When I was on my job search before I was offered the job back at council, a job came up with an astrology company. And because I'm on this spiritual journey right now, I applied and I thought that would be amazing. It uses my physical skills of business and administration and people skills, and also brings in my love of spirituality and astrology and that side of it. And that excited me. I didn't get the job, which is fine, but look for those opportunities. This then relates back to what we were previously talking about of sometimes we just have to sit in this discomfort, and sometimes opportunities come up that can link what we love doing and give us money at the same time, and it doesn't have to be just working for ourselves. Now, this has gone down a bit of a rabbit hole, but we have spoken about everything that I wanted to speak about. And please let me know in the comments or send me a message. I would love, 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 love to know if this resonates with you and if this is the journey that you're on at the moment as well. If it is, please know that it's okay. It's part of the journey. It won't last forever. And you're not alone. You're really not alone. That is all from me today, and I will see you on the next episode.